think tanks like Brookings are trying to figure out what's the best way to reach the broadest possible audience. Policy 2020 is trying to create a web presence for us that coordinates the work that we're already doing in a very user-friendly form.
Brookings is a public policy research center, and what we hope to accomplish with this initiative is to inform the American people. This is a very important election coming up, and the issues will be argued on both sides of just about every point that the politicians and the candidates are raising.
One of the things that happens in campaigns, particularly in debates, is that everyone chooses their own statistics and puts their own spin on the statistics. We will attempt in Voter Vitals to give the voter a comprehensive look at the underlying realities in a certain public policy area.
The second thing is the big ideas stream of work, which is essentially memos to the campaigns and the winners.
Our scholars will put forth ideas that they think policymakers ought to be paying attention to.
The nice thing about that format is it's meaty enough and you can give people some real background information, but do it in a way that a person could just sit down and, digest over a cup of coffee, is in some ways the most important contribution we can make to an election season.
One of the most fundamental things about the upcoming election, I think, is the distance between the two parties. Partisanship is extremely strong at this time, so it's going to be an election that's not about small bore policy solutions. It's going to be about what kind of country America is supposed to be, and the parties have very different views on how America is supposed to be.
The stakes in this election are high, not just in healthcare policy, but across dozens of different policy areas. And so it's important to get behind the sound bites and understand a little bit more about the actual issues that are in play on these complicated topics. And I hope we can be a resource in helping voters understand those issues.
It's clear now that depending on where you sit, you have very different needs. And we have to provide, we being Brookings, have to provide the information so that very different people can make solid decisions.
And just as Americans have trusted us on issues of civil rights and issues of the Marshall Plan and issues about social security, as they've trusted us on our positions about foreign policy and global development, as they've trusted us in our metro policy recommendations to mayors and governors across this country, and as they have trusted us to do the kinds of analysis necessary to understand the constitutional responsibilities of our government and our people, they should trust us now. And they should trust us to be able to present the fact-based information that they need in order to make this critical decision as they go to the polls for the 2020 election.